Hey all, Matt here with Bobcat Bonsai, and today is the beginning of part 2 of the cold stratification, but this is only phase 1 of part 2. So today we're going to put all the seeds in water to soak for 48 hours, and we'll go 24 to 48. We'll come back tomorrow and see how many seeds actually sink to the bottom. And if it's the majority of the seeds sunk to the bottom, then at 24 hours, we'll put them into the bag with their sphagnum moss and put them into the refrigerator. All right, let's get to it. All right, so as you see here, we have a few glasses, a few bowls, and some water all over. So during this process, it's very important to be super detail oriented so you know exactly what is going where. I did this ahead of time to save you guys a lot of time, but I actually went through and labeled some painter's tape, and it is labeled. So this is the dwarf red maple, and it says it was soaked. It went into the soak on 12:30, and then there's the fridge. So we'll put the fridge date on there once we actually decide to put it into the fridge. So for the dwarf red maples, that's these little guys. I think we'll put them in the Shrek cup. So you'll see the peroxide off to the side over there. That's going to be the last thing I do before I put it into the sphagnum moss, is I'll actually just run them through a quick soak in the hydrogen peroxide. Sorry, I was making sure I had all my seeds out. So that's just the dirt. So there we go, there's the dwarf red maples in there. So what do I have next on here? My next option to go with is going to be the red maple. All right, so the red maple, let's get that one torn down through here. We'll mark this little bowl right here as the red maple. Dump the red maple seeds in. All right, next option is going to be the trident maple. So these ones, if you remember in the first video, I didn't really trim the wings off all the way. I trimmed them up a little bit, but not all the way. Well, this time I didn't really feel like dealing with them, so I just cut them all the way off. And that's all I did with them for this part. So we're just going to get these little guys out. All of them are out. Drop them in. So our next option we're looking into is going to be the crabapple seeds. So the crab apples we will take and put them in this glass jar back here. So it may be weird, but like the two that I'm super excited about the most are actually going to be the trident maple and the crab apples. Well, good news on the crab apples, some of them actually dropped right away. No. So, I try to make sure I get every last seed. Oh, that seed's so dead. Oh well. We'll still throw it in anyway, right? Just to make sure. Okay. Last but not least, the ponderosa pine. So let's just get that little sticker right here. Get all these little ponderosa pine seeds out. Oh, come on there, little guy. Yes, all these little seeds right here. And we're just going to take them and dump them all in. So, since it is a little bit chilly, I am going to probably give them the 48 hours, which means we won't be coming back to this until about Sunday. Let me see if I can get anything to move around here as I stir my finger. This is not the most sterile method here, the stirring the finger. Okay, so as of right now, we have exactly one dwarf red maple that dropped. We have 0 red maples. I was about to stick a marker in there, and then I remembered I have all my wire hanging over here, so I'm just going to stick the wire in. Give it a little stir here for the tridents. Alright, at least we got one trident to fall. And the one that fell was actually the one that I completely took the little helicopter off of. I put my wire back. Oh wow. All but one crabapple seed. Nope. All the crabapple seeds dropped. Okay. And let's check on the ponderosa pines here. Alright, so they're all floating, and that's okay. So this is what we got set up. I will see you all back here. Yeah, there we go. Just move you around. I'll see you all back here, and we'll come back and do a quick check-in tomorrow no matter what. But after that quick check-in tomorrow, we'll see. Maybe we'll be coming back Sunday. Maybe we'll be throwing everything in the bags tomorrow. Alright, I'll see you in about 2 seconds. Alright, so we are on 24 hours later from when we put the seeds into the water. So today is December 31st, New Year's Eve. Let's check on our seeds and see which ones dropped and which ones did not. Alright, so the first one we're going to look at here is the ponderosa pine. So the majority of these seeds are all on the bottom. There is a few little remnants that are on top that I'm going to pick off, and we are going to put the ponderosa pine seeds into their moss and into the refrigerator today. The next one we'll take a look at here is the red maples. Sorry, I can't really get that to focus. So for that one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 on the bottom, and 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 still floating. So these ones I'm actually going to let sit until 48 hours. So tomorrow we'll come back and see if any more of them dropped. And if so, awesome. If not, then we'll just do 10. So the next one here is the trident maples. So there we go. We can count that together, kind of. It's 1, 2 at the bottom. The rest are just floating up there at the top still. So trident maples, we're going to give 48 hours. Crabapple seeds. Well, phoop. Those are all on the bottom. I'm not sure if this view is even worth anything at all, but I thought it would be cool just to look straight down into it. So there you go. So last but not least, we have got our dwarf red maple seeds, and I don't know whose idea it was to use a Shrek cup, but there's some on the bottom with some twigs and stuff, and then there's some on the top. So we will let that sit 48 hours as well. Alright, so let me pick the stuff off the top of the ponderosa pine one, and we'll get ready to put that and the crabapple seeds into the moss. Alright, I'll see you in a second. Alright, so I dumped the water off of it. That way it would be a little bit easier. So all I'm going to do now is, so a lot of people use like sphagnum moss and all that. I actually find it easier to just go outside, and I just collect up some moss that grows on the rocks outside, and that's what I will end up using to drop my seeds onto. There's a little bit of pine needles in here, and that's fine. There's absolutely no reason for me to be picking them out, but I am anyway because I'm talking to you. But all I'm going to do now is just take these little seeds here and just sprinkle them out in different spots. And I just lost one because it shot somewhere across the room. So here we go. We're just gonna come in here and just do our best to just get a little bit out here. one at a time, two at a time. It doesn't matter how many at a time. Honestly, what we'll end up doing once they do finally sprout is I will be, that's a dead seed. That's why that one dropped. What was I saying? Oh, once they start to sprout, we will tweeze them out with tweezers from the moss and move them into individual little planters to grow by themselves. All right, so the seeds are in here. So next I'm going to take my little plant tag here. Actually, yeah, we'll take our little plant tag here. And I'm pretty sure that it's going to tell me when I try to draw this because I never fix the issue. I know, Tom, I should get a pencil because it would work better. But I didn't grab one. Oh, it's writing. So now for the fridge, I am marking this as 1231. So that's now marked on there for the fridge. Tom, what you were saying about the pencils though, once I go to actually move this outside and they start to go into their individual planters, I will definitely make sure to actually use plant markers for one, and for two, to use a pencil so that it is properly marked up. So now, let me grab my special wrap here. I like to use press and seal. Press and seal works really well if you don't want to use a plastic bag. Sorry, that's going to be a little bit loud. So actually, I'm not even going to make you listen to how loud this is. I'm going to take the press and seal. I'm going to rip the press and seal. I'm going to wrap the press and seal around the container so that no air gets in. All right, so let me get that done and then we'll get back to it so I can show you what it looks like when it's complete. All right, so there we go. It's inside its little container here. So the next one we're going to tackle here is going to be the crab apples. So what I'm going to do is just take all of this water with the seeds and just dump it all over. Okay, so now everything's out and into this bigger container here. And now I'm going to dump the water back. So the reason I chose to dump the water back this way is this will be a lot easier to get the seeds out of than what it would have been to try to get them out of the glass container. All right, so here we have our little crabapple seeds that all dropped. Let's look at these though, because like this one dropped, but that's not a good seed, so we don't want that. That's mush. We don't want that in there because we want to, even though it went through the test and it passed the test, you have to look at what's going to put mold into your mixture. And these weak seeds that are shriveled up and mushy, you don't want those in there. You want these good looking guys right here, that nice red tint to it. I'm going to put in these darker ones as well, but honestly, my thought process behind it is all these ones that have that nice red tint with that black outer ring, those are going to be the ones that end up actually germinating properly. These darker seeds, I don't think they will. They just don't look as healthy. So for this one, I have a little bucket here. Doo-doo. Just another little lovely bucket full of moss, and the moss is nice and moist, so we're good there. All we're going to do now, just come back in like the last one and just spread the seeds around. And just, when you're doing this stuff, it should be fun. If germinating seeds is a frustrating process for you and you don't enjoy it, don't do it. It's not worth it. Like, the whole point of this is to have a good time and enjoy what you're doing. So if there's certain processes you don't like, don't do them. It's okay. Nobody's going to be upset that you don't do something because you don't like to do it. Honestly, most people would say that it's pointless to grow from seed anyway, because most of us will never get to see, most of us will never live to actually have the opportunity to watch these little seeds progress into what they will become as far as the tree goes. And I mean, honestly, that's about 100% true. Most of us will never live to see the day that these seeds grow to be what they're going to be. I mean, let's see, I'm 35 years old, but even at 35, you never know what's going to come tomorrow. You could get struck down by anything and you never get a chance to see it. I might spend $1,500 on a gorgeous bonsai tree and it's supposed to deliver to my house tomorrow, and I die from some random thing overnight, and guess what? I never got to see that beautiful bonsai tree. So we can't worry about the little things. We just have to sit back and enjoy what we can enjoy, and what we can enjoy is what we want to do. So rounding back to what we were speaking on, if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. All right, let me wrap this one up real quick, put the sticker on, and then I will take you over to the fridge and we will put this into the fridge, into my seed drawer that I have in there. Oh, also, this is the little, oh my gosh, giant sequoia seeds. So there's some inside here that, oh my gosh, what happened? So I just noticed that one of the seeds never dropped. So let's get that. We need to get that down in there. All right. So that's down in there now. So now we're just going to put that back over here and let it chill out. The other one's in the fridge like it's supposed to be. So wrap it up. I'll meet you at the fridge. All right. So we're down in the basement in my drink fridge. As you see, this is where we keep all the drinks. This is, I actually keep the humidity control set to low inside here. It's in one of the vegetable drawers. And this is the giant sequoia seeds that we did up yesterday. So they're down inside there. And then in the back, I'm gonna put the ponderosa pine seeds. And then in front of them, I'll put the crabapple seeds right there. So there we've got them. They're inside their nice little drawers. And now they're put away. I've got this other little drawer right over here. So when I run out of space here, I can put one more there. Lucky for me that I am able to have two refrigerators, that I get to use the vegetable one down here and we use the one for food upstairs. So I'll see you back tomorrow for our 48-hour check-in. Whatever seeds are at the bottom, they get planted up. Whichever ones are not, they get tossed aside. All right. Thank you for watching. So here we go. It is 2023, January 1st. Everybody has run out of time. So either you sunk or you didn't. So what I'm going to do here is, rather than just get rid of the ones that didn't sink, I'm actually going to bag them up separate, and everything's going to be identified, and we're going to test out, I guess, the theory to see if this whole water soaking does tell us, or does give us a more viable option of which seeds are good and which ones are bad. So we'll start it out with the red maples here, and the ones that we're going to start with are the ones for the no sink. Since they're on top, they should be the easier of the options to grab up. So I'm just going to take them, grab them, and drop them all in on the mulch here. And even a partial, I mean, that one's actually sunk. That just, there we go. The wing itself is floating. But this one, the seed part's floating, so I'm going to put that one in here. So that's how I'm determining on those ones. So that's it on the red maples. And for everything, I'm using the same mulch that I collect from outside. So it is a consistent variable everywhere. So now we're just going to come through here and throw in all the ones that have sunk. And I mean, all we can do after this is just hope for the best, that we're gonna have some good turnouts here. and get lots of new baby trees growing up everywhere. And that would be absolutely awesome. Okay, so that's all the red maples. So that part is knocked out there. Just gonna take this water and recycle it back over here. All right, so now that that's recycled back over, let's go to our dwarf red maples. And, oh, I had the wrong bag. I had the sink bag. We want the did not sink bag first. So I have found a lot with maples that the reason they don't always sink is because that little wing layer on the outside of them. But these seeds are also looking very white underneath that layer. So that kind of makes me question it as well as being viable, because normally if they're a whiter color, I found that they do not ever sprout. But I think it'll be fun to go through here and redo this together, and now I'm actually trying to consistently gather information rather than just saying, oh okay, well I'm gonna throw these all in this bag even though some of them sank and some of them didn't, and deal with that from there. Alright, so we got everything out of here except for this little one right there. So now we're just going to come in here and grab these and throw these into their little bag. Let me know your thoughts on this process. If you have a different way that you go about determining which of your seeds are viable, or if you just say whatever and just throw them all in, kind of like what I did with the natural stratification outside, where I just threw everything into a bucket and said good luck, let's see which ones are gonna actually sprout. And then of course we all had that crazy cold front that hit, so if there was anything that was going to be a hard set on those seeds, that cold front was definitely going to be it. Alright, so now we're into the no sink for the Trident maples, and it looks like we're down to 3 seeds that didn't sink, which is awesome. I was really nervous yesterday because I think it was like 2 that actually sunk. Alright, so now we have the ones that didn't sink inside their moss. And last step of this phase here, I'm just going to dump this in. There we go. Grab our little moss tray here. And just take and toss these seeds around inside the moss tray. So, I know a lot of things say to put like an 1/8 inch of soil over top of the seeds and all that, but when I think about it, I'm like, okay, these seeds are falling off the tree. Some of these seeds that are growing never get covered by anything at all. So what does the 1/8 inch of soil have to do with anything at all? I mean, I'm sure there's a reason why we're supposed to do it, but that's just my theory behind it. Which is something else I guess we'll figure out through here too, maybe. Maybe I actually needed that 1/8 inch of soil everywhere. So I'm just gonna take my pressed sill here. Let's put it down with the sticky side down. Alrighty. Getting it dropped down there pretty good. So now all that's left is for me to pull some more press and seal, and then we'll meet back over at the fridge. Alright, also, that's it. That is the end of cold stratification part 2. Well, until we get to the final results. But part 1 and part 2 will probably be combined at that point in time, because we will be seeing which all ones started to sprout all at the same time. So I can't wait to see you guys then when we figure out our final results and what methods worked better than other methods, and if seeds dropping actually tells us that they are viable and ones that float are not viable. We'll figure this all out together. So a few different species, a few different techniques. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. If you really enjoy my content, subscribe to my channel. And if you cannot wait for my content to come out, go ahead and hit the bell notification. Thank you.